these boats away. They are coming, and they're looking for action.
Scott is referring to global numbers, but he's not saying what's happening in our region. An 85% increase in Afghanistan,
what's happening in our region
and a massive increase in Sri Lanka. And there's been the end of a civil war, and I think anyone watching this program would know that exactly the same thing happened at the end of the Vietnam War.
So why is Michael Danby then, if that's your argument, why is he the only one out there making this point about the use of language? I mean, everyone talks about sending messages, the rhetoric and so on.
Well, I think there's one thing to have a debate about terminology or nomenclature. What's important is what the government does.
What are your thoughts? Do you think
I think the Prime Minister was making the point that if someone is seeking asylum or refuge and they're not a refugee, then they're by that point they're illegal and they're sent home.
Should he rein in the language a bit, though?
Well, I think what we need to focus on here is the policy. Can I make one more important point here? There is a blustering subterranean debate going on in the Liberal Party at the moment about what to do. They've got a fight going on about temporary protection visas.
Sorry, Joseph.
All you're going to hear from Scott, all you're going to hear from my mate today is rhetoric.
The division is on your ranks on this one, mate. You guys are conflicted and divided.
Whether it's the ETS,
and that's why Kevin is running hot and cold on the issue.
Whether it's the ETS or whether it's this, the Liberal Party are divided on this. So you're only going to hear rhetoric from Scott and the Liberal Party this week.
No deal on that
because whilst they'll criticise what the government's doing, they won't reverse the actions the government's taken because they don't know what to do on temporary protection visas.
Let's hear.
See, this is the answer.
That's what Nicola Roxon actually said when we were the government, and we took action. And when you guys were in opposition, you said your view was that one boat arrival was a failure of policy when you're opposition. And when Nicola Roxon was asked it when she had responsibility, she said, "No, you've got to talk to the government," because the people smugglers aren't looking to get messages from the opposition. They're looking to get messages from you and Kevin Rudd. And Kevin is running hot and cold all over this issue.
I want to finish on one other issue. Peter Dutton, Scott, has to run in Dixon now. It's notionally Labor. Should he have stayed there in the first place like Julie Bishop said he should?
Well, there's a lot of water under the bridge on this issue, and Peter has a strong, very, very strong track record in that seat in Dixon, and they have a choice between someone with a track record of delivery and performance in Dixon and another union official from the Labor Party. So it'll be up to the voters of Dixon.
It's a tough ask, though, isn't it? It'll be one of the bigger comebacks.
Look, Peter is an outstanding performer. I think he's a great fellow, and I think he has delivered much for the people of Dixon. And you know, that holds water. People's records hold water, and I think that's what a lot of the debates we're having this morning about. What you've done, what you've achieved, what your form is matters, and that's what Peter has.
I think Peter Dutton's in a lot of trouble here. You know, he's effectively said to the people of Dixon that, well, want a divorce? I've found someone down the road with a more attractive margin, and he's gone down there, the person with the more attractive margin, and now he's been rejected. Now he's got to come back with his tail between his legs and say, sorry, I didn't really mean it, I still love you. And it's up to the people of Dixon where they believe that. I think they'll show the same loyalty to Dutton as he showed to them.
Well, he's set a high bar in terms of his performance in that seat, and I think that's, at the end of the day, what people will judge him on.
Well, just a couple of minutes to go. I want to get your thoughts on the way that the ETS negotiations have started. Lots of praise, mutual admiration almost.
Yes, they are. Seem to be quite friendly, don't they?
Well, to the credit of the Liberal Party, they've finally come up with a position. They were divided on it, but they've eventually come up with a position. We can have a sensible and a mature debate about the ETS now because the Liberal Party have decided where they stand. We might be able to do that about asylum seekers and this issue if the Liberal Party come up with a position. But their division means that all they want to do is sprout rhetoric instead of tell us where they stand on temporary protection visas and the return of the Pacific solution.
Let's talk about the ETS. I mean, for months and months and months, it had been Malcolm's position that we would negotiate, we'd bring forward amendments. We are doing that now. Malcolm's been true to his word. I'm a little disappointed in question time this week. The government has sought to try and blow this issue up. I mean, we're not asking questions on the ETS this week. What we're doing is conducting... The negotiations hadn't started at that point. The negotiations are now underway. We've kept very quiet on the issue because we've got good faith negotiations, and I only employ the government to pursue those in good faith. I don't expect to hear in question time the government ranting about deadlines and timetables and bullying and blustering. I expect them to commit to the good faith negotiations. Penny Wong appears to do that. I think the Treasurer and others who are trying to make some cheap points yesterday should pull back and keep the faith.
Leave it to the people with the sharp IQ. Penny Wong. Gentlemen, as always, great to see you both.
Thanks, Kieran.
Appreciate it. That's all for this edition of AM Agenda. Join David Spears, 4:15 Eastern Daylight Saving Time for PM Agenda this afternoon. As always, I'm Kieran Gilbert. Thanks for your company.